You're listening to the Cloud 5 podcast. I'm Luke Potter, but you'll know me as the Lord of the Science Corner. Today on the show, we look at the wacky world of alternative medicines, including energy healing, psychic vampires, and explosive vagina candles. We talk about the implications of a mood monitoring wristband in the world of work, and we find the answer to the question, is climbing inside a dead whale good for you? You can catch us here every Saturday at 7 PM on your favourite audio streaming services, or Sunday at midday on YouTube. We hope you enjoy the show.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Cloud 5, the podcast where five British idiots delve into the latest and strangest in news and pop culture. Before we dive into our second episode of Cloud 5, some introductions to the cast of irreverent imbeciles who'll be guiding you through this week in weird news. First up, I'm Jack. We've got Brandon.
Hello.
We've got George.
Hello, everyone.
We've got Joe.
Hello.
And we have Luke.
Hello!
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, guys. It's a pleasure to be back here a second week in a row. We had what I can only describe as a wonderful response from people, from the first episode. I thought we made a lot of jokes last time about, we'd have about 3 people.
Yeah. It was pleasantly surprising.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it was. It's delightful. The anchor has said that we have a viewership of about 80 people for the first episode, which was crazy. I mean, it's not reaching the heights of, I don't know, Joe Rogan or whatever, but that's still for a first episode of the 5 of us just sitting around and chatting shit for an hour and a half. That's quite wonderful. It's far better than we were expecting. So thank you, everybody who tuned in last week and who's tuned in again this week. You masochistic lunatics. I don't know why you're back here, but you are.
What are you doing?
So welcome.
Welcome back.
Yeah, exactly. We're sorry. We've got a lot to get through this week. There's so much has happened in the news to the point where I've had to make some omissions because there's just so much going on. Before we get on to our round of headliners, I'm just going to put a quick shout out to our very, very talented friend Ben Frere, who's just released a new song on Spotify. I will be including a little snippet of it right at the end of the podcast, so listen through and give it a listen on Spotify. Look him up, Ben Frere, that's F-R-E-R-E. There's a new song called Laying on Mars, and it's brilliant.
It's a very good song.
First up, it's Headliners, the weekly segment where you lot fill in the gaps of the zaniest headlines I could find in the depths of the internet. Yeah, we're all excited about that one.
Yes.
I hope you're all as excited as we are. Oh, yes. The first headliner, blank, arrive at grocery stores after mix-up from Colombia.
Cocaine.
Colombian.
Colombian arrive at grocery store.
Yeah.
7 horses.
Exactly. 7.34 horses. Exactly.
I love the idea of a platoon of Colombians just showing up at some grocery store.
No idea where they are, like Barnsley or something.
Ay, caramba!
Well, this is in America. This is an American news article I found.
Okay. All right.
If you've all guessed, 7.34 horses, Colombians, old women. Brandon mentioned.
Yeah.
Well, the answer, George, you are absolutely very, very close. Oh. The answer is the first word is cocaine. The second word is bananas.
What?
Cocaine bananas.
Cocaine bananas arrive at grocery stores after mix-up from Colombia.
How does that work?
It found 12 bricks of what was believed to be illicit drugs in a shipment of bananas. This is in Kelowna. Kelowna? I'm not sure where... it might be Canada, actually, not America.
Yeah, that sounds like Canada.
Kelowna, it is. It's a Canadian city. And cocaine bananas.
When you said cocaine bananas, I thought you meant they'd unpeel the banana and it's just filled with cocaine.
Yeah.
Than separate bricks.
Solid banana
imagine
shape.
peeling a banana and load of powder just falls out.
It's what? Yeah, it's you don't even unpeel it. It's just in the shape of a banana.
Well, no, that's not quite what happened. Yeah, no, they apparently there was so much. They would have the two surprise shipments would have introduced 800,000 doses of crack cocaine into the Canadian illicit drug market. It's enough contraband for every resident in the city of Kelowna to receive nearly 6 doses each. So that's fun. A lot of cocaine coming around, and they're disguising it.
Thinking of everyone. Yeah.
Like the amount of
many not
money.
few.
It's mental.
It's beautiful. Well, at least all of the cocaine would have been evenly distributed.
Communism.
Yeah, of course. Communism.
Exactly.
Karl Marx
Exactly.
would be happy with that.
He would be delighted. Next headliner, if you're all ready.
Yep.
Giant blank acquired by the Museum of London.
Squid.
Trump blimp.
Museum.
What did you say, Brandon?
Isn't it the giant blimp of Donald Trump?
That is exactly right.
Oh,
the
yeah,
words,
it's
the words itself is the giant Trump baby balloon acquired by the Museum of London. Yeah, if you remember, a few years ago, there was just like 2018. Trump was visiting the UK, and some people protested by flying a gigantic balloon of Donald Trump in a nappy.
Ages ago.
It was a really good publicity stunt, to be honest.
Yeah, and it's now going into the Museum of London. In the it says so that the museum director said, by collecting the baby blimp, we can mark the wave of feeling that washed over the city that day and capture a particular moment of resistance, a feeling still relevant today as we live through these exceptionally challenging times. That ultimately shows Londoners banding together in the face of extreme adversity.
Is it still inflated, or is it just floating around there? Or have we defaced it?
No, it's deflated. Can you imagine in the Museum of London bouncing against the ceiling? No, I don't know how I feel about extreme adversity. London has probably faced extreme adversity in the past. I don't think the prospect of Donald Trump coming to London, no one's going to see him other than like the political leaders. Extreme adversity. It's a bit silly, isn't it?
People just having a joke more than anything.
No. We hope the baby's place in the museum will stand as a reminder of when London stood against Trump, but will prompt those who see it to examine how they can continue the fight against the politics of hate.
Oh my God.
Inspirational.
They did stand against Trump, yeah.
I bet the Pope was pleased with that.
Yeah, dude, try floating a blimp of Vladimir Putin in a nappy and see how far it gets you.
You probably won't live long enough.
But Buttigieg will shoot you.
No, they'll have an umbrella with a syringe in it.
Novichok or whatever
Yeah.
that, like when they went to visit Salisbury Cathedral and they died.
Yeah, it's pretty horrifying. I don't know how we've managed to turn a Trump balloon conversation into political assassination, but there we are.
That's what you get here. That's what you've come to listen to.
There you are. Everyone knows. Cloud 5,
Beautiful.
your regular dose of Novichok. Our third and final headliner.
Yep.
Egypt arrests female chef after she served blank at exclusive women's club.
Man.
I
She
was gonna
served.
say.
Sorry. Can we talk about the logistics of that guess? She served a man.
Well, if it's a women's
Yeah.
club, if they're all radical feminists, it wouldn't surprise me.
I don't know how good feminism is doing in Egypt.
Probably
Not
not, that
great.
good. Now, my guess is I think she served like an entire genitalia.
Whose?
Do you know what,
Like-
Brandon?
Whose?
This is
Yeah.
uncanny.
I want to know.
It's uncanny. She served genitalia-shaped desserts.
What?
Yeah.
Like, really?
How are you getting these?
The thing is,
It's the
I
lowest
genuinely-
common denominator. He literally, obviously, Brandon's going to get it. And remember last time he said, what did he say? He said something about, we were talking about a flavour of something and you went queef. The first thing you said.
Right. I knew about the Trump blimp because I read it I read an article about it. I had no idea about this. I literally said genitalia
Yeah,
because all I could
how
think
about-
about is a woman serving a giant schlong.
Well, it wasn't actually a schlong.
Massive horse.
But
That's what
obviously,
they say.
but in Egypt, the publication of nude pictures, sweets, and various products with sexual connotations is forbidden and criminalised by law. So she violated the law.
Which genitalia was it, may I ask?
Was it a vagina?
I don't know, actually. That's an interesting question. The article doesn't specify whether it was male or female.
Oh no.
Wow.
But they were genitalia-shaped desserts. So and also you're not allowed to. They've issued, fatwas saying that you're not allowed to circulate the images of them eating them either. So we'll never know.
It is forever a
That's
mystery.
disappointing.
The size
Yeah.
of
That's
this,
classified.
of this
I
food.
really want to know about the cock cake.
The cock cake.
Yeah.
Oh my god. How do we get from this? What was the original headline?
Egypt arrests female chef after she served genitalia-shaped desserts at exclusive women's club.
Okay.
See, cock
Cock
cake.
So it is actually related.
Okay, yeah.
You're
fair
allowed
enough.
you are actually allowed to say cock in this context without being ridiculously vulgar. So that does it for headliners. It's a short round, but we've got a lot to get through this week.
Yes.
If you have any headliners for us, tweet us at Cloud5Cast using #Cloud5 or email us at cloud5cast@gmail.com, our delightful email where we have received some messages. Firstly, our good friend Felix messaged us with what I can only describe as a slightly sinister item of food. It appears to be a burger. An Arby's burger is an American food brand or fast food brand, and it's called We Have Ocean Meat. Now,
I love me some ocean meat.
why don't they just say fish?
Well, that would be
ocean.
convention.
What
but
is
these
it?
people are just so original that they had to come up with a new name for it.
Yeah,
They had
don't
to call it
identify as fish.
Unfortunately,
Ocean meat.
ocean meat was the outcome.
Is
I
it
want, I
about?
want to know if this is real.
I don't know. It sounds kind of fishy to me.
Oh, Joe!
I'm starting strong.
Oh, Jesus
Many
Christ!
more.
Oh, Joe, please don't.
Right,
Please no more.
More where that came from.
Yeah, stay
Lucky
tuned.
listeners.
We have ocean meat. I mean, it's a perfectly normal picture of what looks like a fish burger.
yeah, it's pollock.
It's pollock, is it?
Yep.
Oh, pollock. Just call it fish then. Why do they
Yeah,
call
I know.
it ocean meat?
It's literally a white fish called pollock. Like, why are they calling it ocean
The
meat?
thing is, they don't actually have anything on their menu that is called ocean meat. It just appears in the ads. Everything on the menu is perfectly fine, but the ad is like, no, it's ocean meat, guys.
Ocean meat. I don't understand why they say it. Like, it just
But
makes me
that's-
feel weird.
It's hilarious to me that it's not written like that in their menu. It's only in the ads, as if
When they ask
people
for
don't
ocean
know what
meat,
fish
they don't know
is.
what you're talking about.
They don't know what fish is, and they're like, "Yeah, it's like, would you like the pollock burger, sir? What?
No.
Excuse me, I was promised ocean meat."
We're going to leave out my ocean meat.
I feel like people in America, America is so diverse with intelligence that some people will just be like ocean meat.
Everyone loves a bit of ocean meat.
Yeah.
Brad Neville, our friend, sent in. He replied to an Instagram poll with a phrase that I was not familiar with, which was Donald Trump Diet Coke button, and now I had to go digging on that.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I saw about this as well.
What's
It's
this?
so funny.
For those who aren't aware, this is a headline that came out yesterday. Biden removes Trump's Diet Coke button from the White House. Now it's just the most wonderful thing, and it really, really completes the image of the former U.S. president. Yeah, he would apparently. So he basically had a button that he would in the Oval Office that he would press, and a person would bring him a Diet Coke on a silver platter.
How big is the button? Is it like the size of the wall when he goes up and body slams it and then someone goes upstairs with the Diet Coke?
No, I think
It's
it's
a red
fairly
button on his
discreet.
desk.
That's what I'm imagining.
A former White House aide has written a book about his time in the White House called Team of Vipers. And he said that the president would prank visitors by hitting the button and suggesting it was related to the country's nuclear weapons arsenal.
No way.
Not sure what to do.
No
Guests would look at
way.
one another with raised eyebrows. Moments later, a steward would enter the room carrying a glass filled with Diet Coke on a silver platter, and Trump would burst out laughing. I don't know why Mr. President Biden has removed that. I think that's quite important.
Do you reckon he did it to the Pope and that's why the Pope hates him?
What if he?
That in here trying to hold his hand.
Got
I
baited.
imagine.
Baited
What
the
did
Pope.
what's Biden going to do now if he needs urgent refreshment?
Probably walk to the tap
to
Go
like
get
any normal human
himself
being.
like a normal person, yeah.
Sucks to be him.
Well, no, but then he's got to go to the cafe and the
Yeah, but
bar
think about the
and
inconvenience
fraternise
of
with
going to get it
the
yourself.
peasants. Yeah, God, you're president of the United States. You don't get to be president for long, 8 years max. I'm going to make the most of it. Give me my Coke button.
Have you seen like the articles about what Donald Trump ate like in a day? Like,
Yeah,
he
it's
would
quite
eat-
monstrous, isn't it?
Wasn't it just loads of McDonald's Big Macs and stuff like that? He like ate just
Oh.
like the dude.
God.
The dude is incredibly unhealthy. Like there was a big rumor going around in like 2020, like sort of his final year of presidency. People had a rumor like had predictions that he'd actually gone through like a stroke because
Yeah.
he was started acting weird. He had a bit of like a limp and he like wasn't able to
To
stand
be fair,
straight.
To be fair, I'd love to know which person diagnosed Donald Trump as acting weird.
Oh, like do you remember Kim Jong Un entered a vegetative state?
Oh
earlier
yeah.
last
Wait,
year?
And
was
everyone
that
thought he
was
was
that
dead.
true?
Yeah.
Was that actually true?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was true. He
He
disappeared for ages.
He
But
survived
where is he?
it.
Is he still here now?
Well,
Or was
he
still
quote
a
unquote
vegetable?
survived it, but I think he did. I don't know.
Oh yeah, he's still alive. He's still not, unless they're just using archive footage and he's dead, and all the North Korean
Yeah.
officials
Is
are
he-
panicking,
is he still
going,
like-
"Oh my God, what are we gonna do? He's dead. He's dead."
Is he still knocking about, or is he like being propped up and like someone's
What,
like
in a
behind him
wheelbarrow?
just making him wave?
Yeah, like
for
a, like
everyone?
like a puppeteer.
Someone
Yeah,
wears a
yeah.
skin
and,
suit of Kim.
and it's really obvious. There's like strings connecting him to the lighting rig, and he's like lurching
eyes are
around.
taped
He's like flying
open.
around the stage.
His skin's
like-
like a
like
really,
Peter
really
Pan.
dodgy grey.
Yeah. Oh dear. Well, no.
Oh.
Trump. For a man built like a bowling pin, it does not surprise me that he has a Diet Coke button in his Oval Office. And all I can say is, why remove that, Biden? Why?
Yeah, Biden.
'Cause
I know you're
if it's
listening.
there, if I wouldn't install it myself, but if I arrived and it was there, I would keep
Why?
it.
Why would
Take it,
you get rid
wouldn't
of
you?
that? I don't understand.
These- I don't like Coke.
Fine then, Sprite button.
7
The
Up.
water button.
Sprite cranberry.
I want to know how
Yeah.
how did the button work? Did like an alarm bell go off in someone's ear?
Yeah.
And it was like,
It activates one of the stewards' shock collars, and they rush.
it released the chain and they could like move and go get in a Coke.
Because like old English manor houses had like a little bell you could ring, and it would like sound in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Like your servants. So it's probably
Oh, yeah.
like that.
It was exactly like that. An email we had from Alicia Jade, or Alicia, I'm not quite sure, but Alicia is the traditional way to pronounce it.
Wow.
She's given us a little anecdote.
Mm-hmm.
I've only skim read this, so this will be my first time reading it aloud and reading it deeply. As we're in lockdown, I'm bored and got fuck all else to do, so you can have this. I was babysitting this kid and she took forever in the bathroom, like 30 minutes at a time, and I was kind of confused. So when she came out, I looked in there and she shat in the bath. Brilliant. This 11-year-old girl shat in the bath.
Oh
I
my
was absolutely traumatised and will always remain that way. Enjoy my shit Festivus story.
What
Thank
did
you.
she do?
Thank you.
What
I
would
don't
you
know
do?
how you
What-
recover
what
from
would
that.
you
Try
do?
and wash it down the bath, I'd suppose, and then
You'd have to like
heavily
mulch it up to try and
sterilise.
get it down the drain.
Oh God, that's in. Hi Lydia. If you've tuned in again, if you've tuned in for a second episode,
I doubt
hi.
it.
I love the idea that Lydia is going to keep listening to this, and then one day she'll reach her breaking point, and she'll go, "That is enough."
One day.
For the sake of I'm not listening to any more stories about shit in the bar.
Nah, keep them coming in.
Wait. Was the bath filled or was it just straight into the bath? Surely there
It
was,
was
a reason.
filled to the
quantity.
brim.
I don't have any more context.
Was it floating around or was it just sat at the bottom? I want to know.
Oh, this is getting cut out.
How many centimeters?
Was the entire
Oh,
bathtub
God.
full of diarrhea?
Stop! Stop! Do you know what? I've heard this. I've heard this show. You know, the people who've given feedback. I've heard this show referred to as flatteringly like an Xbox party QI. This is not like QI anymore.
Yeah.
We're past that now.
We're past QI. I'm sorry, everyone who had to listen to that, but don't blame us. Blame Alicia.
Blame the
for
child.
Sending that in.
Blame the 11-year-old.
Blame the 11-year-old child who shat in the bath.
Yeah.
I thought that poor kid must have actually felt horrible, because 11 years old, you're not so young that it.
Not someone was
nothing
not just
matters.
walk in and see him that. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you do at that point? Was it just like they just carried on with their night? They just kind of left it there, like shut the door, like don't go in there.
Yeah.
Anymore.
What did you think was going to happen? Did you leave the
She
like,
won't know.
You might want to give it. You might want to give it 10 minutes or so. Maybe just not. Maybe just the rest of the night. Maybe just don't go in there. You don't need to do that. We've got a toilet. We don't have another toilet in the house, but we do have a rose bush. So if you need to go, hunker
Let
down.
it mellow.
Go outside. Do
Yeah.
I want to know why would you prefer to go in the bath than in the toilet? When it's
Bigger, more
next to it?
space to maneuver.
More leg
Well,
room.
maybe they were having a bath and had a bit of an emergency.
Oh,
And
couldn't
didn't
get
know
out
what to
in
do.
time.
I don't. Sorry,
Could've been
sorry.
floating.
Did you assume that the kid thought, no, the toilet, it's not enough. I need a larger receptacle.
Yeah, I didn't realize they were. I didn't realize they were having a bath. I like cause,
This is gonna be a
cause
busy
you put in.
Bigger is better. What do you mean?
Wait, you guys thought that the 11-year-old kid's logic was, I feel it coming, and the toilet will not be enough to contain it. I
Yeah,
have to go in a
children.
bath.
Like, so yeah.
The only
In the
option.
in the empty bath.
The toilet cannot
That's just
comprehend.
what I.
that.
That's why you clearly described it wrong, Jack. I'm afraid.
Yeah,
I read what was
Definitely.
I read what was sent to me. Okay, so
Ah.
that's what I've given.
You know,
You
Oh,
implied.
dear. Good lord.
I am debating whether I should tell a story from my childhood now.
No, Brandon.
Oh, no.
If it's
No,
about
no,
this topic, no.
No, please. I don't. Please. I want to reduce the amount I have to cut out.
Okay, I'll save it for another episode.
Yeah,
Whenever it's a
maybe.
bit
Keep
more-
that one.
Maybe.
Let's sit
We have.
through.
We have to try to take the foul taste out of our mouths. We have another email from A Wilson. So, while I lived in Italy for my dad's job, there was one particularly memorable event, which was when an earthquake hit while we were in school in a joint maths lesson. Having to cram 2 classes under 3 groups of desks was definitely not fun. So while the parents were all anxious, panicked and in hysterics, and with hushed muttering outside the school gates as they came to pick us up, all the children were overjoyed at the events occurring. Why? Because the fire brigade was called and said that the school was to be shut for 3 days due to total sustained damage of nothing. Nothing had broken or fallen,
Nice.
not even pencil pots off of shelves, but we were still told school was shut for the next 3 days, which the majority of us spent at the pool because it was Italy during the summer, so pretty hot. The Mammoth Club was a top spot over there, so most of the kids agreed that earthquakes were awesome. And we're
good.
wishing more.
Tell-
Oh, good.
Tell that
So-
to the Kobe earthquake.
Well, I don't know if it was quite like on the scale of the Kobe earthquake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the damage of the Kobe earthquake was slightly more than quote nothing.
I
Earthquakes
just
are
want to know
awesome.
what. So the fire brigade were called to the school for no reason, and then the school was shut for no reason.
For no reason. The subject line of the email is appropriate way to respond to an earthquake ? What do you reckon?
Thank you. Just
No.
thank you for that.
If you get to like the centre of the earth, you just jump in. So like, so I.
Wait, hold on. Sorry, have I been?
What?
This is not. There's been no jump cut. What are we talking about? I asked. Appropriate way to respond to an earthquake ? What do you think? And then Brandon says thank you, and then Joe said if you were in the centre of the earth, jump in. What the bloody hell are you talking about?
I said like earthquake. Yeah. It's like the ground would
Yeah.
split. You could just jump in, go to centre of the earth. What do you mean?
That's not what.
No.
What are
If
you
do
ground
saying?
pushes all the
What?
way down.
What drivel is that?
So it splits in half. The world splits.
Jump
I
down.
was gonna say, if a crack did go to the core of the Earth would probably sustain a bit more damage than you being able to jump to the core.
Yeah, but at least you get 3 days off.
Yeah.
You are
On the
talking
bright side.
shit.
Well, I mean, it's not a bad way to respond to an earthquake.
Yeah.
Well, no, not for the kids, obviously. You
Hell
stay
no.
home for 3 days.
Brilliant.
There you are. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Sorted. And finally, a question from Henry Heath. He asks us what
the
our
legend.
opinions are. The legend himself. He asks us what our opinions on the use and legislation of marijuana.
Oh.
Ooh, okay.
You'd like to know.
This could be controversial.
Well,
Will it be controversial?
Who dares to
No.
speak?
um,
Yeah, go on,
well,
mate.
there
Say it.
have been some studies which have shown that certain LSD, like drugs, really help people with depression and mental health disorders like that.
Yeah.
However, just regular use, personally, not a massive fan. That's just a personal opinion, but
Yeah, I
if
agree.
you choose
with
to
you
do
there.
that, that's your life, and
Say
I mean,
medical
this
fine,
is
I think
legalization.
there is a
stuff.
yeah, exactly. I think there is an argument for the legislate because I don't know. See, I don't know. I don't know whether if they legalize it, marijuana use will skyrocket. But I mean, it's certainly one of the less destructive
not,
drugs.
like,
I mean,
harmful,
compared
is
to
it,
something
really?
like heroin and
It's
stuff
not
like that.
like
I mean,
cocaine
it's
And
still
drugs.
like a drug, so you got.
There is an argument to suggest that legalizing it will be beneficial, not because we want everybody in the country hooked on marijuana, but because the convictions for the use and possession of marijuana get people in trouble for a long time for doing something that's a victimless crime, doing marijuana.
Yeah, it's
by
not
yourself.
like a
It's-
bad
Decriminalize
for
it, so
anyone.
it's not exactly legal.
So
but
if
don't
you
get a massive
decriminalise
sentence.
it, yeah, if you decriminalise it, I think there is an argument for that, and
It's
also
probably
the
the
idea
best
that
thing.
obviously there's a lot of trouble in drug trades with mixing shit up
Yeah.
to make some highly toxic cocktails that you don't know what you're buying.
Correct.
So there might be because I know in America there's some states have legalized the use of marijuana and the selling of marijuana, and they've already got these lovely boutique shops that sell them. So maybe that might be a better way to go about it than getting it off.
I've heard that, like in Canada, when they legalise it, a lot of people still got it illegally though. So I don't know.
Yeah, see, that confuses me.
Yeah, I don't really
How
know
can they
why.
I
get
don't
it
think it's-
illegally?
When they legalize it, I think you have to have certain licenses and sort
Maybe
of
it's more expensive.
medicinal permissions to have it. Like, because I think there are certain states in America where like you can only buy it if you have like a doctor's license.
Aren't there like
not a license.
stores for it? Like genuine.
Yeah, you can guess it like as a pharmaceutical because it can be used to treat chronic pain.
Yeah,
that's a good thing,
medicinal
like that
marijuana.
oil.
I think. Yeah. Medicinal marijuana, I'm totally on board with. If it's gonna get you out, if you have some sort of horrible degenerative genetic disease and marijuana dulls the pain, then absolutely go for it.
They it's commonly consumed in America as like in the form of edibles with people who are undergoing chemotherapy.
Yeah.
That's
So
common.
yeah, that I'm totally for. I mean, it's for the recreational use. I know a lot of people have had their lives ruined by, marijuana
Yeah.
convictions, and
I suppose
possibly
they say it's like a gateway drug, I guess.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, and people are divided on whether that's true or not. So I'm not gonna throw my hat in the ring on there.
Yeah.
I'm
But
personally, I'm not gonna make any opinions on it.
We don't know what
Yeah.
we're talking about, so
it's a very mixed bag.
Yeah, pretty
we are only just on the brink of adulthood. We don't know what we're talking about. So there you are. But that, yeah, certainly a stimulating discussion. I mean, we could talk for hours about that. But thank you for your questions and
Keep 'em
horrible
coming.
traumatic stories, and keep them coming. That's cloud5cast@gmail.com, or you can tweet us at cloud5 with our hashtag. This week in Weird, why was Gwyneth Paltrow in the news this week?
Well, I sent it like that article, didn't I?
Oh yeah. What, do any of does Joe, George, and Luke do you
No.
have any idea?
I don't know who
do
that is.
Gwyneth. She's Gwyneth Paltrow is the a Hollywood actress. She plays Pepper Potts, Iron Man's wife in the MCU. She used to be married to is it Chris Martin, Coldplay guy?
Oh yeah.
Yes,
I think she used to be married to him. I think their child is called. I might be wrong. I think their child's called something like Apple or something stupid like that.
Imagine.
sorry,
calling your kid
Gwyneth, if you're
Apple.
listening, but I
Is
think
That
your
a deal
child's
to
name
get
is
like
idiotic.
free iPhones or something.
I don't know, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah, brand deal. Yeah, my child is a brand deal. Why? Brandon, go tell us. Why was she in the news this week?
Basically, she was in her news because she has a line of candles, and one of her candles is called "This Smells Like My Vagina," and she was in the news.
She's the
because
vagina lady.
One woman, her candle reportedly exploded in her house, and yeah, it's just mental how like "This Smells Like My Vagina" candle just explodes.
Yeah, Gwyneth Paltrow runs a notorious brand called Goop. There's so much. There's so much to talk about.
It is an orchard.
It's an orchard.
It's called Apple. So,
Yeah, well, let me tell you, this she's well known as the lady with the vagina candle. It doesn't smell like her vagina. It's important to I don't know what Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina smells like, but she is. If it does smell like her vagina, she's being very generous to herself because it smells. There we are. Let me get it up on the Goop website, dude. The Goop website is an absolute goldmine of stuff. We could theme a whole episode around this website because it's just mental. Listen to this. This Smells Like My Vagina candle it's got a funny, gorgeous, sexy, and beautifully unexpected scent.
Funny scent.
The candle. Yeah, I don't know about fun. Yeah, why funny? What's it smell like?
No, when you say funny, you go, that smells a bit funny. That's not a good thing, is it?
Yeah, I love how she led with that. She led with a funny scent.
Oh, Gwyneth.
Well, it smells like it's made with geranium, citrusy bergamot, or bergamot, I don't know how to say that, and cedar absolutes juxtaposed with damask rose and ambret seed. I don't know what any of those things are, apart from geranium. I know what geranium is. I don't know what any of the other things are. But apparently that smells like Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina, which it all sounds quite nice smelling. I highly doubt that's what she smells like.
I was going to say, isn't it actually quite unhealthy if your vagina smells like botanical? Because you're not actually supposed to use like strong scented soaps on a vagina because it damages the pH.
Well, I know that
Thanks, Brandon.
Gwyneth Paltrow. Another thing that she was very she was in the news for was advocating for vaginal steaming, which has absolutely no proven health benefits. Which is basically when you just get like incense or like smelly stuff and then steam it. I don't know what you do. You hunker down and squat over it or whatever. But
that is anyone with a vagina listening. Don't like.
We've lost all of them. They've all gone.
They have all gone.
Would you like to know how much, if anyone is interested in the This Smells Like My Vagina candle, would anyone like to know how much it is?
Yes.
Are you interested in it, George?
It
Well,
yeah.
well, if you want the smell of Gwyneth Paltrow's minge around your house, it costs it costs 68 quid.
Yeah, there's also another one, isn't there? This Smells Like My Orgasm.
60.
Which I don't
Yeah,
know
this
how
smells-
I can
Quid.
possibly.
This smells like my orgasm. I'm gonna find out what that smells like.
Luke, explain this to us.
Oh, here it is, right here. Brilliant. A fitting follow-up to that candle, you know the one. This one is made with tart grapefruit, neroli, and ripe cassie berries, blended with gunpowder tea and Turkish rose absolutes for a scent that's sexy, surprising, and wildly addictive. I know she's bullshitting on that one.
Yeah, I was gonna
No,
say,
it doesn't
what-
smell like your orgasm, woman. It doesn't. It just
Whose
doesn't.
orgasm smells like gunpowder and tea?
Yeah, so this is the thing. It's gunpowder, and you're
Something's
lighting
wrong.
it. And then,
No,
and
not-
then
no,
in the
no,
warning
no.
underneath, it's do not burn for more than 2 hours at a time. Which
What is exploded?
What, is it
Not
actually got
not
gunpowder
gun.
in it?
It's not actual gunpowder. They haven't
How do you
filled it with
Set any
kerosene. It's gunpowder tea. It's a specific thing. It's not actual gun. It's not It's not explosive. But no, this smells like my orgasm. There's also a candle that says this smells like my prenup. Also good for burning legal documents. My prenup. Oh. Nobody would want that scent. Can you imagine if a fella? It would get no. If a guy was like, who's some trendy bloke? I don't know. Harry Styles is quite trendy at the moment. Everyone likes Harry Styles.
I don't.
He's a cool
Oh,
dude.
Brandon.
Oh, Brandon doesn't. Oh, there we are. Oh, I bet Harry Styles is quaking in his boots.
He's crying.
He's a very popular fella at the moment, Harry Styles. If Harry Styles decided I'm going to release a lifestyle brand and one of my products is going to be this smells like my semen, no one's going to want it.
I would buy it. I would actually buy it.
No one is going to want that.
I would.
But let me tell you,
Experiment.
Goop does not the magic of Goop does not end there.
Yes.
So these are things that they sell. The Frenchman, the millionaire, the fireman, and the tennis coach. What do you think those items are?
Well, I'd definitely not buy the Frenchman.
Are they?
No, all of those are the same. They're variations of the same product.
It sounds like the YMCA people, the village people. You know, like
that would be a different song, wouldn't it? The Frenchman, the millionaire, the fireman, and the tennis coach.
Yeah, it's like weird YMCA.
What do you think? What do you reckon? Give me a guess.
Is it a dildo?
Oh, I was gonna say they are definitely sex toys.
They're vibrators. The Frenchman is my favourite. I love the idea. But what's funny is that
Jack,
you go from like
experience, your favourite.
From experience, the Frenchman.
Go on, tell us
I
more.
absolutely love it. I love it.
Can't get over
I've tried
it.
them all. I've had a great experience with the Frenchman. I wonder if I can find a picture of the full set because they are so funny. My
really
search
hope
history is
the
going to be
Frenchman-
fucking ridiculous.
I
after
really
this.
hope the tip is like a beret.
Dude, prepare yourself.
So just speak French to you as it's.
Here they
It's
are.
got like a big.
Here
Is
they
it a
are.
baguette? Is it a baguette? Please be a
Sorry.
baguette.
No. The
Just
Frenchman is a blue one, and it kind of like fan. I can't really describe. It looks like like a burrito.
Describe his experience.
So you've got the
It's like a
millionaire,
weird
the tennis
modern art
coach,
thing.
the fireman, and the Frenchman, and they are.
I love
all
how the
vibrators,
fireman
different
is
shapes.
shaped like a fire.
Yeah, the fireman is shaped like a massive candle or a tentacle.
Oh.
The tennis coach looks like a bop it. The millionaire is pretty straightforward. Don't know why they bother with that one, the purple one. And then the Frenchman looks like the half of a burrito or a taco.
It does.
Almost like an ice cream
It's like a
cone.
tortilla with nothing in it.
I just thought those names were wonderful. There is also something that Gwyneth Paltrow is known for, and her brand Goop, which is
What a good
the
name.
jade egg. Do you know what jade egg is?
I don't want to know.
I
really don't want to know.
I hate it.
Yeah, I think you do. This is why I wanted to bring this on because I'd already mentioned Goop to Brandon and Luke, but I just wanted to hear George's response to some of these things.
I don't want to hear it. I really don't.
You do now. You're getting it. So are all you 80 people listening. Let me listen to this. Yoni eggs harness the power of energy work, crystal healing, and a Kegel-like physical practice. Insert the egg into your vagina.
Oh my god.
And feel the connection with your body by squeezing and releasing the egg. Oh, it's so icky. It's disgusting. It's
Squeezing
disgusting.
the egg. Wait, you
How
insert
inappropriate.
it in your vagina.
So bad. Yeah, I love how they also remind you to clean it afterwards.
Wait, is it solid? Is it like solid jade?
Yeah, dude, it's made of jade. Yeah.
Jade.
Well, there's one made of jade and there's one made of rose quartz. Guess how much they cost?
£200.
No. 60 quid.
Oh wow.
But it's all right because you can pay in installments.
Oh, that's fine then. Give me
There
five.
you are.
Place my
Quartz
you are.
is one of the most common minerals on the planet. Like, there's no reason to pay 60 quid for an egg shape like made out of quartz. Like, I'm sorry.
No, but it's a Goop egg and it comes with a little drawstring bag.
It's a goop egg, Brandon. What do you think you're paying for?
God, I'm sorry.
Anyway, the Goop website is actually, and all this stuff about vaginal steaming and all of that stuff is very it's very Goop. It's very in line with what they do, and it seems to be this kind of new age wave of alternative medicine. I watched a Netflix documentary called Goop Lab, and I only saw one episode because I couldn't stomach much more. But there was I kind of dipped in at some random point, and they do this thing called energy healing, right? And
Right.
it's basically where you lie on a bed or a bench or whatever, and all these people are so psyched to do it. They're like, yeah, this guy is an expert in his field and whatever. And this nice man comes in. He's not a doctor, but I'll call him a doctor for the sake of this. And the doctor goes to them and kind of he describes it as every human being has an energy field that
Right.
certain people can manipulate,
Oh.
right? Like Jedi. And he goes up to them and he They're lying on the bed or on their fronts or on their backs, whatever. And he starts moving his hands over them, not touching them, but like floating his hands over them.
Right.
And they start having what I can only describe as a massive, earth-shattering orgasm. And it's
really
the weirdest thing
weird.
I've ever seen. It's like a cult,
It
but
must be like
but surrounded by
actors.
silicon and glass.
Surely it's an actor.
No. These are real.
No.
These are real people, and
I cannot
they
fathom
genuinely
how it
believe.
works.
I think it's. I don't know whether it's placebo or whether there is some
I'm-
actual weird psychic thing about this guy floating his hands over you that causes your body to react in such a way. They use it
It
as
has
therapy.
to be a psychological thing, like a placebo thing, because I just don't understand how it would work.
Honestly, I was sat there, slack-jawed in awe at this crazy stuff. I'd love to try it.
Of course you would, Jack. Of course you would.
I would. I'd love to try it.
Yeah.
I'd let a man use his magic fingers on me.
Another branch of another Goop product, and this really is the absolute pinnacle of lunacy, right?
Oh no.
It's called psychic vampire repellent.
Right. Go on.
I hate everything to do with this.
Right, it's an essential oil. So there you are. You know what you're in for. It's made of essential oils. An
If
essential.
you buy essential oils, you're just weird.
If there's a more pleasurable way to banish psychic vampires, we don't know it. What the fuck are psychic vampires?
I'm going to research this I'm going to research a psychic vampire. I need
What?
to
You've
know.
never heard of psychic vampires?
No, I can imagine what a psychic vampire is, but I think my imagination of it is slightly different to what Gwyneth is imagining. This essential oil blend of lavender, rosemary, and juniper is an energy-refreshing scent with a tendency to conjure up positivity. A tendency. So it's not proven. It's not proven to banish the vampires. Last time I
Right.
checked, you could just use a bit of garlic or a massive wooden stake in its
A
chest.
psychic vampire is a fictional and religious creature said to feed off of the life force of other living creatures.
Good lord!
Right.
How did we get here? Psychic vampire? Because I mean, the stuff with the stuff with the vaginas, right? That is a
The vaginas.
that's kind of I don't believe in it, but I can imagine why people might think that that's a good idea because I know what Kegel exercises are and I know all of that stuff and
Yeah.
and the idea of making your vagina smell nice or whatever I can imagine is something that people might want to do by steaming it. But the idea of actually unironically sitting down and going, you know what, I think we need to spend 25 quid on a bottle of psychic vampire repellent protection mist. What? It's just. I mean, it's surely obviously bollocks. Who thinks that? Well, it is currently unavailable, so that either means they've decided nobody wants to buy their psychic
Or
vampire
it's
repellent,
sold
out.
out.
or it's sold out. But there are people who seem to think that Goop is slightly cult-like, which is weird because I have to say I watched the Goop Lab, and you know, Gwyneth seems one of the most normal out of everybody involved, but she's obviously not normal because this is all sprung from her mind and the mind of her friends. She's like, yes, ship it, psychic vampire repellent.
I just
Just
don't
get it
like
out
it.
there.
people want.
I've got to be honest,
very
and this may be
confusing.
controversial. There may be people listening who agree with certain things, but in my opinion, I just can never understand this idea of energy manifestation, like all these
No.
kind of
Yeah, it's bollocks.
Like it is, and like
I think there's a certain amount of fun that people have. You know, I think a lot of people talk about manifesting and they don't really mean it. It's just a joke. Like it's just a fun little thing to do.
there's a line between having a bit of fun and just like having a joke around, and like
Then there's steaming a vagina to get rid of the demons.
and making like spells. Like I'm sorry if you're listening to this and you genuinely believe in it. I apologise, but I just cannot understand it. I can't.
Yeah, it's all right, Brandon.
Just
It's
needs a little bit
okay.
of faith.
I am just I'm crying now.
You're gonna get a hate email.
Yeah,
Oh
they
yeah,
can
we're
come
gonna
get
get.
hate
I'm
mail.
manifesting your death. I'm gonna stick a bunch of rusty nails into a lemon, bury
You're
it in the
gonna bury
woods,
them.
and then you'll die.
Oh, I'm waiting for it.
Do a
honestly,
ritual.
Lads, if
Well,
I'm
there's-
gone by next week, you know what happened.
We could literally do a whole episode on this stuff because there is just so much to talk about. I know that some people have actually suggested we do themed episodes.
Yeah,
and I
was
do
about
like
to-
the
I was
idea
about
of
to
that.
say that actually. We
I do
could
like the
that.
idea of that, and we might test the waters of that either in a second season or just mix it in with the regular stuff. We do it maybe every third episode or whatever. We'll do a big themed one like actual QI, not this. But it would be it's just because we could talk about alternative medicine for forever. There's to talk about people that stick candles in their ears and light it, and then that's apparently healing, and drinking their own urine or whatever. Like, it's all real. It's all stuff that people do, and it's truly bonkers. And there's so much we could talk about, but unfortunately we don't have much time. So because we're already nearly an hour in.
Wow. Mental.
Yeah. Still to come, we have our regular Florida Man segment. We'll talk about some more curious inventions and arrivals in the country. We'll have our regular science corner presented by Luke, and we'll close out with our regular round of factoids. This week based around the wacky history of medicine.
Oh, legendary.
Nice.
Now for our surprisingly successful Florida Man segment, which had probably the best reviews out of all of it, which was very amazing. Because I thought that the Florida Man was I thought that was a dead meme. Genuinely, I thought it was done. I thought we weren't talking about Florida Man anymore. But Florida continues to impress.
Everyone loves it.
It's just it is a gold mine. It's brilliant.
It's so
especially this week. This
never
week
change.
We've had a lot.
It's so much better than it's in America as well.
Yeah, we have had to narrow down because we've had just so many. We've found a lot of Florida men, and we've had about 5 submissions of Florida men as well, sent to us by all sorts of different people. So we're gonna focus in on some for the latest in our forays into Floridians' frequent follies. Brandon brings us this week's Florida Man.
Okay, this week's Florida Man, I have picked a man who's actually done good, I believe. So. This headline reads, "The Florida man turned Kurdish militiaman turned anti-Trump vigilante. He fought ISIS and volunteered as a medic for Black Lives Matter. Now he's been arrested for threats against pro-Trump rioters."
Wow. What?
A good man.
He's like Batman.
Yeah,
He is.
Epic.
I mean, what confuses me, though, is he turned Kurdish... And I don't know if you guys know about the Kurds and the Kurdish sort of people, but it is basically a group of people without a country.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like
So
I don't know much about the Kurds.
So the Kurds, they basically they're fighting to get their own land and get their own country. In many countries over sort of the Middle East, that area. And it's like a group of people who are all as one. They all have their own kind of I don't know how to explain it, but they want their own country because they lost it, but they can't, and no world leaders are letting them. But they have their own military. They have power, yet they don't have a country, and it is so interesting.
Oh yeah, and if you want to bring in another Florida man, I know there's a fella, we've got sent a headline, or Brandon found a headline of a Florida man who had kidnapped about 17 people and forced them to play Yahtzee until he got arrested.
Fake.
But it was
fake.
tragically fake, and I'm kind of upset. I'm upset that we discovered it was fake because we could have got some gold out of that, but unfortunately it doesn't qualify because it is bollocks.
So this Florida man, he fought in a Kurdish militia against the Islamic State of Iraq, ISIS, basically. He helped rescue a shooting victim in the Capitol Hill, raid. He's just mental. He was arrested because he was actually allegedly threatening the Trump supporters at the Capitol.
Wow. See, it's not all bad, Florida. See, we may have done you a disservice with the weird guy on his what was it, his big boat flying around shooting off fireworks, and the Florida man last week. There was the guy who set himself on fire trying to throw a bucket of accelerant outside of his own home.
Oh yeah. There's hope for Florida.
But then you've got this man. Florida man accused of trying to steal horses, riding them home, deputies say. Man wanted to set them free. And the picture of him, it's a shame you can't see it. He is deranged.
The horse whisperer. I love the idea he's trying to steal horses plural and ride them home. Like,
All
is
of
we
them
going
at
to do
once.
multiple trips?
Yeah.
Or has he just got a really large leg span?
He's just laying along all of them.
Florida men.
Florida men, multiple men.
Florida
Yeah.
Yeah, please, and please, if you have any Florida men for next week, send them in. We'd love to hear more batshit insane people,
Yeah,
because
we would.
that seems to be very, very popular with you at home.
I love them with all my heart.
There is a new wristband on the market, luckily unrelated to Goop. I thought this was definitely belonging in This Week in Weird, because so have a few guesses at the function of this wristband. What do you reckon they would issue a new wristband? Let's say it's going to workers. What do you think they would be doing with this? It's a wearable technology.
Does it burn calories?
No, well, that's a good guess.
Does it keep track of time and what you're doing?
That's called a watch.
Is it?
Is it a watch?
Is it a glorified watch?
There's already one of those, George.
Damn it! Oh,
They've already invented
I'll
that.
keep thinking then.
Does it keep track of like your blood sugar and like your heart rate and stuff?
No, it's not actually related to your physical being, but more your emotional being. It's called a mood beam, and it allows your employer to track your emotional state.
Oh,
The gadget,
was so sad.
It links to a mobile phone app and a web interface, has two buttons, one yellow and one blue. The idea is that you press the yellow one if you're feeling happy and the blue one if you are sad. That's human
what if
emotion.
you're
You don't need any wider range of emotions. What if you're angry? What do you press? What if you're lustful? What do you press? Yeah. Yeah, aimed at companies who wish to monitor the well-being of staff who are working from home. The idea is that employees are encouraged to wear the wristband. They can say no. I love that it specifies that. And press the relevant button as they see fit.
I'm
throughout the working week.
confused. So like, what if it comes in and all of them are sad? Like, what do you do? What do you do?
Yeah, what do you do? And does who's monitoring the boss? Because it says, so they say the Moonbeam founder says businesses are trying to get on top of staying connected with staff working from home. Here they can ask 500 staff members, "You okay?" without picking up the phone. I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, because it takes out the human interaction.
Yeah, exactly. A kind of human bond with someone. This is where we're actually getting emotions, reducing them to stats on a screen. And not even emotion. Happy or sad. Those are your options.
Yeah, smiley face, sad face. No, it's not even that.
Yeah,
It's
they
colours. It's just two colours that you get to choose from.
One member of the team was in an uncomfortable place, struggling with the huge workload and disillusioned with what was going on. It's not something he would have flagged up, and we wouldn't have known about it unless we had seen the data. But that is trusting people. You know, people who are genuinely going through a really shit time. A lot of people are going to want to keep that private, aren't they? It's not something you want to bring into their workspace, and certainly not tell their boss about. I don't know why workers seem, the founder seems to think. I might be wrong, but by stripping away the human connection aspect of it, of actually confiding in somebody, might make it less daunting. But also at the same time, if somebody's not going to tell you to your face, I'm feeling really horrible. My wife's divorcing me or whatever.
Yeah, my wife's sleeping with my boss.
Yeah, exactly. They're not going to go. They're not going to press the little blue button, and then the boss is going to burst out of their office and go, "What's wrong?" Do you know what I mean?
Sing them a song if they're sad or something.
Yeah, hold them in their arms and rock them to sleep.
Oh, like a baby.
But yeah. So that's that. What's going on there? What are your thoughts?
What happens if you accidentally press a button?
Yeah, what if you choose the wrong one? But what if 5 minutes later you're sad, but you've already pressed you're happy? Then what?
Yeah.
I don't know if you only get one use and it goes in the bin. You have to buy a new one.
Yeah, but surely.
Well, you had your chance and you ruined it, didn't you? So you don't get another one now.
It's like, oh, dude, I'm not feeling too great today. Too late. You are designated happy.
You've already pressed happy, I'm afraid.
Wait, I don't understand how you could be sad once you press the happy button, though. Like, someone explain.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
Say you press that you're happy, and then I don't know, you read something bad in the news, and you're like, oh god, oh no, I'm really upset. It's like,
Yeah.
what? I don't understand. What is the boss meant to do in that
He'll
situation?
fire you because you're baiting him. He's like, oh,
Fire
I'm
you.
Like,
I was gonna say like more like, oh, like I'm really sad. Oh, why? Like, oh, this dog who like fought in the police died, and like what are they gonna do about it? Like, if
The
you
crime-fighting dog, Constable Woof.
Buddy.
have you seen videos of like police dogs who have like done service and they're like obviously very old and they're on their way to be put down and the entire police force is saluting them and stuff, and it is the saddest thing ever. Like,
Yeah, and that really is the thing, isn't it? Is that someone might be oh, I feel a bit crap, you know, just not having the best day, and you click your blue because you've seen something on the news, and you get then lumped in with the people who are clinically depressed.
Yeah. You get,
There's no
you get put
distinction.
in a support group with like
Yeah.
people wanting to kill themselves.
Yeah, it's like, well, what's going on with you? Oh, you know, well, my wife's divorcing me, and she you know, it looks like she's going to be able to take the kids, and I'm not going to be able to see them, and we're having a real trouble with custody, and you know, I've had a few health scares recently. Oh yeah, what about you, Alan? Oh well, I saw this really sad news article earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said that there are guys on the Dutch border being deprived of ham sandwiches. And
oh
I just don't know what
Not
we're gonna
ham
do.
Don't know what to do.
sandwiches.
Yeah,
yeah,
so-
it's just like a colour. Like, you need at least a bit more. Like,
yeah, you need a red, which means intervene now.
Yeah. Explosive diarrhea. Quick.
Yeah,
Quick.
a panic button.
Quick, it's coming.
I think, sorry, it's that workplace isn't like school. I do think you're allowed to go to the loo. You're allowed to get up from your desk and go to the toilet. You don't have to sit there. The only time where that's not, you know, is a bit rude is if you're in the board meeting. But if you do desperately need a toilet in the board meeting, you can just go, sorry, I just need to go to the loo. I'll be right back. Instead of just like frantically jabbing the blue button under the table on your
The
wristband.
brown button on the wristband.
Yeah. Oh dear. Well, the UK has seen a lot of trouble recently, and one could argue that there is a lot to be sad about. Brexit's driving people further apart. COVID is ravaging the country, now the highest death rate in the world, so you'd be forgiven for thinking that all looks rather bleak for us right now. Well, fear not, listeners, because there is one ray of sunshine amidst all this cloud, and that is the UK is finally getting bison.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Bison.
We're
Let's go.
getting bison.
We're
We've
getting
unlocked bison.
We've won.
Secret
One
achievement.
life.
Yeah,
Bison.
achievement unlocked. Bison. Yeah, we have become UK 2.0. We're getting bison, guys.
How have we
The
done that?
Let me read this headline to you. Bison rangers wanted to oversee UK herd. No bison experience necessary. This is real. A wild herd of European bison will be the UK's first in about 6,000 years.
Wow.
We're going to be introducing a herd of bison to the ancient Blean Woods near Canterbury in the spring of 2022.
Where are they coming from? Are they like on a raft on their way right as we speak?
Right now. Well, there's going to be 4 to 10 of them, so I mean, it's going to be slow getting them.
4 to
you know.
10. What sort of
Yeah.
estimate is that?
They're going to be one of the most endangered species in this country.
Well, because there's
Not
4.
the
of them.
dodo.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
4 of them.
What are they gonna
4
do?
to 10. 4 to 10. It's going to take a long time to popularise the island, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be like, oh yeah, one set of kids. Oh yeah, inbreeding now. Unlucky.
But they like them because
Yeah,
they
that's
like
not
bison because they are quote unquote ecosystem engineers. This feels a bit science cornery actually, which is why it's so close to that segment. But the hope is that the animals will benefit the woodland's ecosystem through their natural grazing behaviours. They also obviously produce a lot of dung, and that's fantastic for
Hell
invertebrates
yeah.
and for fungi and things like that. So, bison, come in. I love bison. I think they're great. I'm so happy we're getting them.
They are very
haven't met one.
beautiful.
Nobody has any excuse to click the blue button on their Moodbeam wristband now. we're getting
Now the
fucking
news is
bison.
here.
Bison are finally here.
They're so big, and I like
They are big and
them.
long.
Yeah, they are big and long and docile. I'd love to have a friend who is a bison.
I'm not sure they're docile.
Really
Most
not.
of them are. I feel like though.
I think
thought they
bison
were
are
quite
fairly
mean.
docile, aren't they?
I thought
Yeah.
they were kind of a little bit vicious towards each other, weren't they? They were quite.
It's so funny to me the idea, like if they really are aggressive and they like infighting all the time, like they're going to go into Canterbury and release the bison into the wild and then come back in 2 weeks and they're all dead and one bison reigns supreme. Covered in the blood of its
like-
family. Now for a more erudite experience, our regular scientific segment presented by our very own Luke Potter, Lord of the Science Corner. In the lead up to today's podcast, Luke has been absolutely apoplectic with intellectual information. What do you have for us today, Luke?
I have pretty cool little amphibians for you today. I've
Ah,
got the
God, yes.
Tadpoles.
I've got some glass frogs for you. And no,
I
George,
love
I'm not going to be
frogs.
talking about the reproduction.
No, but can you get glass frog tadpoles then? Surely.
Yes, you can.
No,
You
George.
can, but that's not what I'm going to be talking about today.
No, they just appear. They just appear out of nowhere.
I don't know.
And I'm going to be talking about a certain species of glass frog. And yet again, it's the binomial nomenclature. I hope I'm saying this right. So the Sacatomania oranguella.
Oh,
so
yeah.
those are the
That just
those are
rolls
glass
off the
frogs.
tongue.
I'm familiar.
It
yeah.
does.
Carry on.
So those are the glass frogs that we're going to be talking about today, and they're a little bit transparent. I'm going to be talking about their calls. So a little bit of background on frog and amphibian calling. So frogs and toads produce calls in like a croak, and this has got like three main reasons why they do this. The first of which is species recognition. So to recognise these glass frog species in the area. The second is mate assessment, so whether the person they're calling to is
Sexy.
a female or whether it's a male, or whether they're
Oh,
compatible.
well,
to
whether they're
mate.
compatible. Yeah, not they don't.
Yeah.
Imagine if they called out and they just knew the location of every fit frog.
Yeah,
in
like
location.
yeah, brilliant.
It's like
yeah.
radar. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
Radar.
piff
And,
ting near me.
UAV.
Well, you say that. The third is localization. So the third is all to do with where people are in the woods and everything. And so these frogs, these crazy little frogs, these live on the slippery rocks near spray zones of waterfalls in the rainforests of Ecuador and Colombia, so in South America. And so they live on these rocks and in like these nooks and crannies between these rocks. They basically just protection from predators, so like snakes and birds and mammals. And because of this, it's also very, very hard to spot them and then to study them, because they are basically impossible to spot whilst you're out in the wilderness, except from someone called Rebecca Bruner, a PhD student who is currently studying at the University of California. She actually found these frogs whilst she was doing a field trip in Ecuador. And so she was doing her usual stuff. Well, I mean usual stuff. She was like chest high in a stream, trying to record different frog calls.
Yeah.
Oh, classic
Just a
Friday.
usual day.
Rebecca.
So I
Good old
can't
Rebecca.
argue with that. I cannot argue with that. But yeah, no, she was basically like chest high in the stream recording these frog calls when she saw these frogs, and she puts it as repeatedly raising its front and back legs. Okay.
Oh.
Right.
And then she goes on to say in the form of little waves.
Oh, they're
Oh, saying
waving.
hello.
So what these frogs are doing are they're sitting there on their little rocks and they're calling out.
They're thinking, fucking hell, that's a
they're
big frog over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then they're waving to each other, which I thought was so cute. And so she saw this one male waving, and then like a few meters away, she saw another another male
whale.
waving. just a whale,
whale
just
in
kind
the
of
stream.
there, just kind of flopping
Just
about,
appears.
like falls from the sky through the canopy.
Yeah.
And so this is pretty crazy, because this is like the first time a member of this glass frog species has been shown to do this. And so these frogs, they have very high-pitched calls because they obviously live near these waterfalls, and the white noise of the waterfalls basically cancels out all other noise that are produced unless it's pretty high-pitched. So these frogs have to have a really high-pitched call, but this still isn't quite enough. So they've evolved to have this visual call which is them waving, which I thought was really, really cute.
That's lovely. I love
that's
that.
nice.
I do adore the image of the girl. You know, obviously chest deep in the river. There's no quick escapes happening, right? And then she looks over and she sees a little frog wave, a little male frog wave, and she's like, "Oh wow, brilliant! Let's take a picture, take a video of that." Turns around, there's another one, and then suddenly she just realises there's a whole like swarm of male frogs approaching, waving. And they're coming. They're coming for her.
They have arrived.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's amazing. And apparently there are actually a few species of frog that live in rainforests in the similar kind of habitats that show this behaviour. And some of them aren't actually in the glass frog family. They're in different frog families. And so they're not related to each other. So scientists believe that these characteristics evolved independently, which is actually a form of convergent evolution. And I've got the definition here. So convergent evolution is the process whereby organisms not closely related independently evolve similar traits as a result of having to adapt to similar environments or ecological niches.
Wow.
beautiful.
So it's really interesting to see how the soundscape of the environment that these frogs are in actually are affecting their physiology and their behavioural patterns.
Well, I think that's really cool.
That is
They've
fascinating.
they've had to evolve how to wave because otherwise they just have to shriek at the top of their lungs for it to be heard.
Exactly. I just absolutely adored this picture of this little frog just kind of sitting there waving over to the mate, be like, hello.
Brilliant.
I just love that idea.
That's a wonderful
Absolutely
mental
love it.
image.
I like their transparency because you
Yeah.
can actually see their internal organs.
They're
It's really
called
interesting.
glass frogs because they are transparent in places.
Yeah, so this species of glass frog isn't actually as transparent as some of the other ones that you find in the rainforest. I don't know why, but
Honestly.
probably because they don't have to
Liars.
camouflage on the undersides of leaves. These glass frogs just kind of sit on rocks, and so they don't need to be as transparent.
Right.
But yeah, no, they're in the same kind of family as frogs that you see on like the David Attenborough documentaries, where they're underneath the leaf, kind of protecting their brood of frog spawn almost from attacking predators, and you can like see their heart beating, and you can kind of see their
Well, obviously they're not going to be
intestines.
fully transparent because that would kind of defeat the reason for waving. Can't be fucking seen.
Yeah.
They're like
It's like, why
trying
is it not
their
working?
hardest.
Why is it not working? I
How
don't
can
understand.
How can you see me? What's he doing?
Yeah.
Thank you, Rebecca.
I-
Thank you, Luke.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
thank you,
Rebecca.
Luke, for bringing these little
thank
glass
you,
frogs to
Luke.
our attention. They're wonderful,
Oh,
wonderful
nice.
little dudes.
Adorable.
So I hope you all enjoyed that at home. If you have any science you want Luke to talk about, send it our way. cloud5cast@gmail.com.
Please do send it in, and I will talk about almost anything as long as it's biology and chemistry related.
Not physics.
Yeah,
Also,
that-
well, it could be
Well, I
anything
don't have a-
sciencey. We'll talk
I
about.
don't have a great grasp on physics, but
That's
it would
all right.
be George if it would be the physics.
Yeah.
one.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, I can do that.
I mean, I doubt anyone has it.
George can be the freaking, I don't know, Chamberlain of the science corner if Luke's the
I
Lord.
I doubt anyone has anything related to geology, but if you have anything related to rocks, send it in. I like
Yeah, if
rocks.
you're sitting on any really cool facts about rocks, send them in.
I'll read them personally.
Brennan will read them out and then he'll share it with the world.
If you want to know anything about Latin, which I'm sure a lot of
Oh,
people
yeah,
will.
you know
Oh,
Latin.
there's nothing quite more
Carpe
scientific than Latin. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for what you've all been waiting for, some trivia to end the show in our weekly segment entitled Factoids, where I read out 3 facts. 2 are true, while 1 is a load of bollocks. It is your job to identify the bollocks.
Where
This
are
week on
they?
the back of... Yeah, where are the bollocks? We'll never know.
We must
or
find
rather,
them.
we will in approximately 10 minutes. This week, on the back of energy healing, vaginal steaming, and psychic vampire spray, our facts are based around the wacky history of medicine. So if you're all ready, no internet allowed. First up, the Victorians used to consume tapeworms in order to lose weight.
Oh my god.
Idiots.
Please no.
Fact number 2. People in the 1920s used to drink energy drinks with methamphetamine in them.
Oh.
And fact number
Nice.
3, a popular Australian cure for arthritis was sitting inside a dead whale.
That That's just such an Australian thing to do, though,
The
isn't it?
third one.
G'day,
That's,
mate.
Oh yeah, nothing really screams Aussie more than climbing into a whale carcass.
Well, you know,
I have
still on a daily.
my prediction. What is the false one?
Go on
Have
then.
it-
Why?
Discuss
Why do
amongst
you think?
yourselves.
Right. I believe the second one is true because I've actually heard stories about this like Russian dude in like a military. I think it was the First World War, who basically consumed a load of amphetamines that they were given to get them through the war, and he consumed about 10 times more than what he needed, and he basically went on a rampage and killed about 50 men.
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
It worked
I
then.
think yeah, it worked. I think he was on skis as well. It was like some Russian dude on skis, like with a gun.
No
It's the
scoping
best-
everyone.
It's the best image.
Imagine a mental guy going down a hill on skis shooting everyone.
Completely off
High
his
on
nut
meth.
on
High on,
amphetamines.
Absolutely off his tits.
I also think the Victorian tapeworm one is true because the Victorians
I think
were
they
just
were
so
just
stupid.
mental, weren't they? I just
They
think
were,
that's
like-
something they'd do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, let's
they
rot
were
my
a bit
teeth because it
crazy.
makes me look cool and rich.
Mm.
Sounds like shoving up a tapeworm isn't far from.
So that means I think the whale one. Arthritis and dead whales just
It's
don't.
Australia as well. I don't know, man. Do you reckon a guy with arthritis
know.
went in there and came out like perfectly fine?
Just imagine
A
crawling
miracle.
out like the rotting anus of a whale. Like I'm cured.
No, sorry. No. They would have cut the whale open. They wouldn't have just climbed
Oh,
up its
no.
arse.
You never know.
What do you reckon, gentlemen?
I think it's the whale.
Yeah, I think it's the whale as well.
I'd say it's well because I know, like in the past, armies did actually use like stuff like meth to keep their soldiers
Oh,
going.
I think it's the whale. I think tapeworms.
Well, I can tell you, gentlemen, that the whale is in fact true.
Yes.
Eh?
No
What?
way.
And
No
the
way.
and the bollock is the energy drinks with meth in them.
What?
No. I'm gonna send.
We couldn't identify the bollocks.
I'll talk about the bollock first, and then we'll talk about the other two, the true facts, which I'm sure everyone is delighted to hear about the whale. But the people in the 1920s used to drink energy drinks with a particular dangerous ingredient in them. It wasn't meth. It was actually
Cocaine.
radium.
Oh, what?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, one of the most infamous examples is something called Radithor, which was simply radium dissolved in water. Which is so healthy. The drink was created by a Harvard dropout, William J.A. Bailey, who was not a medical doctor. And it was
God.
advertised as a cure for the living dead and perpetual sunshine.
That
So
is
they actually
mental.
used to drink energy drinks with highly radioactive material in them. Not meth. So actually, the truth is weirder.
We couldn't
Can I-
identify the bollock.
Can I
you
read
didn't
you
this
the
week.
We failed.
Well, we'll have to wait for next week.
Wikipedia article on the man who overdosed on methamphetamine during combat?
Yeah, please do.
Okay, so his name is Amo Alan Koivunen. I don't know if I pronounced that right. He's from Finland.
Sorry
He
if
was
you're
a Finnish
listening,
soldier.
by the way.
Yeah.
No,
was
yeah,
a
sorry if
Finnish
you're
soldier.
Finnish.
Watching.
In World War II, and the first ever documented case of a soldier overdosing on methamphetamine during combat.
That must be, to be fair though, it's like the Guinness World Book of Records is full of people, you know, like I don't know, like how many sugar cubes can you pile in a that's quite a narrow field of a record. Oh, he's the first soldier who overdosed on methamphetamine. Oh well, that's during combat as well. It's like adding things on.
Yeah, it's like whilst on a unicycle.
So
It gets better. Like it gets so funny. So he was assigned to a ski patrol, and 3 days into their mission, their group was attacked and surrounded by the Soviets. Well, they managed to escape, but he became fatigued after skiing a long distance but could not stop, and he was the only carrier of the methamphetamine. He had trouble taking out a single
what do you mean
pill.
the meth? Oh, well, that just Amo's got the meth.
Basically,
What meth? Why have they got it?
They had it as a stimulant to remain awake during duty.
Oh.
And
Yeah, it was
it
widely
gets so
used
funny.
to armies
He
at
had
the time.
trouble.
It's not.
He had trouble pulling out a single pill, so he emptied the entire bottle of 30 and took them all.
Oh my
Oh
He
my
had a
god.
short-
What
He
a
had a
man.
short
And he
burst of
survived.
energy, but then entered into a state of delirium and lost consciousness. He woke up the following morning, separated from his patrol with no supplies, and in the following days he escaped the Soviets, injured by a landmine, and laid in a ditch for a week.
What a trip!
man.
What a trip!
Right. It gets
He is a
better.
survivor,
It gets
that
better. After skiing more than 250 miles, he was found and admitted to a nearby hospital where his heart rate was measured triple the average human heartbeat.
Good
and he
Lord.
only weighed 43 kilograms.
Wow.
Wait, he weighed 43 kilograms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like a dog.
Yeah.
Small dog.
During the week he survived, he lived on pine buds and a single Siberian jay that he caught and ate raw. And he died at the age of 71, many years later.
Wow.
It's a little
What
different.
what a man. So that is truly that's an amazing story, and thank you for sharing. It is slightly different to how you initially pitched it, which is a Russian man took loads of meth and murdered 50 people.
Whilst on skis.
What's a ski man?
It's still amazing how he managed to survive a landmine, the Soviets, and living off a bird and pine cones.
Yeah, that is
whilst,
amazing.
high on meth.
The tapeworm fact.
Yeah.
But essentially, what they used to do is that they would eat the tapeworm egg, so that when the parasite hatches and grows inside your intestines, it starts to ingest whatever you eat. And so, supposedly, it allowed the person to lose weight without decreasing the amount of food they ate. While today it is known that tapeworms can be dangerous and in some cases even lethal, this questionable practice is still alive today in some places.
I just imagine like a massive worm just inside you though.
I don't want to.
Just knowing
It's
that
like-
it's in there, crawling around, eating all your Scotch eggs.
Because
Sure.
isn't there
Yeah.
a little alternative medicine where people put leeches all over their body to suck out like bad blood?
That's good.
Yeah.
for
That's
you,
well,
that's-
certainly in medieval times, it was very, 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 very popular because they didn't quite get the idea of germs, so they thought it was all about your blood and something wrong with your blood. There's a curse on your blood or whatever. So they would suck out the bad blood with leeches and they cover you in leeches, which having had first-hand experience with leeches would be horrifying.
They are not
But
nice.
yeah, no, that I don't know how widely it's still practiced. It probably
They
is
do
in
it
some corners of the world.
places.
Yeah, but they don't do it. They don't do it in this case. It's not. You're not going to go to the NHS and they're going to go right. Get ready. Get out the box. There's millions of leeches in there. Just throw them all over you.
Time for the blood.
Just a tide of leeches.
Tired.
Good luck.
They
Get
were-
them to shut the door.
Yeah, try. Yeah, remember to keep breathing.
See you in an hour.
Yeah. I will lock the door. So and then the popular Australian cure for arthritis was in fact sitting inside a dead whale. Yeah, back in
How
the
many
19th
years
century.
ago?
So these are
What?
Victorians, but in Australia.
Australian Victorians. That's
It was
weird.
believed that if a person stayed inside of a dead whale for 30 hours, they would be relieved of joint aches
30
for up to 12
hours?
months. 30 hours inside a whale carcass.
Might work.
But I love the caveat that if you get to stay inside the dead whale for 30 hours, the ordeal of sitting inside a dead whale for 30 hours,
The
and then
excitement.
you're then relieved of joint aches for up to 12 months, as if it's like it only lasts a year, then you have to go back and top up.
Yeah, to recharge.
The
Yeah,
whale trial is ending. You have to repay.
your free trial of anti-arthritis is expiring. Please go back to the whale, get in it for 30 hours. That's longer than a day. That's the worst.
Yeah, it would
How,
get quite
how
stinky, wouldn't it?
recently dead is the whale?
Still alive.
I've never seen it happen. No, that's,
Still alive.
The point is that it's dead.
No, but like the life drains out of it into your joints, curing
Oh my
you.
god, it's the energy vampire.
Yeah, there you are.
There we go.
It comes back
spirals
to Gwyneth Paltrow.
All comes back to Gwyneth. I don't think Gwyneth was involved in the whale thing.
It wouldn't surprise me though.
yeah, I
it would not
wouldn't either.
surprise me.
No, but to be
Whale
fair, most of the
flavoured.
stuff that Gwyneth does is all about it's quite sterile and quite glamorous, and it's all about keeping yourself
She
clean
steams
and
her
healthy.
vagina.
And no, but if you think about steam, because you think about people who put like incense around it, it makes them feel all like aristocratic and bougie. But the getting in a dead whale doesn't really quite fit with the Goop brand.
Yeah, it doesn't feel. I guess it wouldn't feel that refreshing. I suppose.
No. Next episode on the Geek Lab, we've done energy healing, we've done cryotherapy. Now it's time to get inside a freshly killed whale that Gwyneth has kindly murdered with her bare hands.
Thank you, Gwyneth.
She wrangled the whale.
So that's the end of Factoids, and that does it for this week's episode of Cloud 5. We hope you've enjoyed our nonsensical ramblings and perhaps even learned something fun. If you have any questions, facts, corrections, or just plain silliness to send our way, you can contact us at cloud5cast@gmail.com, leave a comment on the Cloud 5 Podcast YouTube channel, or tweet us at Cloud5Cast, or use the hashtag Cloud5. We've covered a lot of ground today, but we hope the audio has been better. We had a few audio issues last week, and this week a bunch of us have got new mics, and we're testing out a new recording system of throwing everything at the wall and see what works, and trial and error, and hopefully we can get into the swing of things. All of those lucky people who've stuck around, when the podcast ends, we're going to play a short segment of our good friend Ben Frere's new song to get you interested, and go check him out on Spotify. He's super talented, and the production value of his songs are absolutely mind-blowing, considering the fact that he's younger than me and Luke and Jordan and Joe. It's crazy how much he's achieved.
He's 2 years old, and
also
2 years younger
Brandon.
than you guys.
Oh god, yeah, he is. I always imagine him as your year, Brandon, but he's not, is he?
He's a year below me, yeah.
Jesus Christ. Well, Ben is a legend, and he's a really, really cool guy, and so modest for given the amount of talent that he has. So give him a listen.
Lad.
Yeah, give him a listen, because he absolutely deserves it.
He does.
So that's us done for Cloud 5, and we hope you've had some fun. See you next week.
Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.